Hey, so today we're going to go over how Google decides which law firm ranks number one. And the first thing is, why bother? Why even bother trying to rank number one for whenever someone is searching for divorce lawyer in Seattle or divorce lawyer in Chicago, wherever you're based, even if it's a smaller city, why even bother with this? And an easy answer is that if you've seen our other videos about family law firm ranking teardowns, in those videos, what I've done is I've taken the top ranker from each of these cities here listed here: Dallas, Orlando, New York City, Seattle, Kansas, Boston. And I've just looked at who's the top ranker for the keyword divorce lawyer plus cities. So it would be in the example here, divorce lawyer in Seattle. And then I've analyzed why are they ranking number one, and also how much ranking number one is earning them per month. This is just a ballpark estimation based on how much a customer is worth to the company. And this is just for the divorce lawyer, family lawyer, and all the main bottom of the funnel keywords. This doesn't include all the blog articles and all the sub services that these law firms are offering. This is just for the bottom of the funnel divorce lawyer in that particular city for those keywords, and how many searches there are for those high search intent main keywords, how much a customer is worth, how many of those customers would land on these businesses' websites if they are ranking number one, and how much this is bringing in for them per month and per year in terms of revenue, that is. And although this is a little blurry because it's a smaller image, but the idea here is that for each of these cities, the value of ranking number one is between $250K to $1.125 million US dollars every month, or millions per year. So the value of being ranked number one is really high, and that's also why there's competition. But then again, these are some of the biggest cities in the United States. So if you are in a smaller city, it's much easier to rank number one. It also might be less valuable to rank number one in those cases, but still, it's definitely worth the effort. And if you were to rank number one, on top of having a lot of potential customers that would turn to you asking for your legal services, you would also be able to be pickier about the jobs that you're going to take on, about the cases that you're going to take on. So you can say no to the tire kickers, or you can say no to the customers that you don't really want to get, or maybe to the lower ticket cases, and choose the higher ticket ones if you're already at full capacity. And also another thing this will do if you were to rank number one is, usually if you get to the first position and if you know what you're doing, you will be able to maintain that position for a long time, which means that these kinds of leads and you're going to be getting tens if not hundreds of clients coming into your business every month looking for your services. You're going to have a consistent sales engine, a consistent engine generating leads for you or client cases. And then it's up to you if you want to take them on or not, but at least you would be able to know or have a more predictable revenue and a more predictable flow of customers, which would help you sleep better at night. You don't have to rely on referrals so much. You don't have to rely on paid ads, which are ever increasing in price. And now, what's the most important real estate on Google? And this is if you're doing a search, if someone is doing a search like divorce lawyer Seattle or divorce lawyer near me, and if they are in Seattle, they're going to see the same search results, then the best place you want to get, or the most important place that dominates all, is the first position or the first business in the map pack. And in this case, in the case of Seattle, it's the Leno Family Law Group. And we have reviewed them before. You can see the video about, I did a whole video, it's 10 to 15 minutes about why this company is ranking number one and what you would need to do to beat them if you were competing in Seattle. So this is the first spot you want to take. Of course, these two will also be really nice to appear in. But of course, if you were to do this, if you were to start to focus on it, ideally you're looking to get this spot for yourself. Also, some businesses have multiple locations, so it's also possible to get multiple listings here in a city. So let's say you have two offices in Seattle, one is in downtown and the other is somewhere in the suburbs. So you could get two listings here. Even we have been able to help one of our clients achieve this just recently in Toronto. So this is definitely doable. But anyway, this is the number one spot you want to take. This is what you're aiming for, you're gunning for. And then the second place you want to get is these are the map pack results. But underneath the map pack results, you're going to see organic listings here as well. So ideally you want to appear in both. So that's what we're usually trying to do for our clients. So we want to get this position here and this position here as well. Because 70% of people will end up clicking on one of these results and this one getting the most. And then about 20% or 25% are going to click on these results here. So that's why I want to appear on both. And there's also a small gap of 5%, and these are the people that are clicking on the ads. So if you have the budget, we also recommend you to do the ads as well. But this is what you're looking for. This is the most important real estate in terms of SEO. And of course, we all know how AI is advancing. So you don't want to sleep on AI, but still for local searches, for local businesses, Google Map Pack is still that dominant player. Most people are looking for a business on Google because Google is like, it's just such a better user experience. Like if you were to come to here, like on Google, you see the business name, you see more information about it, you see where the business is located on the map, and you can see the reviews as well, which is not something you see on ChatGPT or any of the AI search engines yet. So that's why people still like to use this. And also the wealthiest clients are in the older age group, and the older age groups are more slower to take on or to start using the AI and those kinds of search engines. So that's also another reason. Anyway, now the next thing is how to get to be the #1 ranked law firm. And if you look at local SEO ranking factors, and this is according to Google, what Google has aggregated. So there are tons of factors here, but like what I've done is I've painted or I've added a blue rectangle or a blue box over the ones that I think that we have seen are the most important, that actually move the needle the most to get you ranking, to get you to rank #1 in the map pack, and also to help you rank #1 organically as well. And the ones with a crown here, these are the most important ones. So how many reviews you have, what's the average score of the reviews, also your Google business profile, how well is it optimized, how well is it built out, and another factor as well that I'm going to get to about the Google My Business profile. And then also online citations, how many citations you actually have. So citations are just mentions or links to your business from other websites. So this can be from business directories, this can be your local chamber of commerce, and many of these kinds of other websites that basically will be linking to you that are not your own website. So these are called citations. And these three are the three most important factors that you can actually do something about to get to rank #1. Usually the businesses that do rank #1 in their respective cities are doing the best in terms of these three factors here. The other noteworthy mentions would be backlinks and also local backlinks here. So backlinks from your local business that are local to you. So if you are in Seattle, so other businesses that are based in Seattle and that are linking to you, that are citing you, that are linking to you, that are talking about you, your business. This is a powerful signal or a powerful thing to push yourself or your results higher on Google. Another thing is local content marketing. So the more articles you have about your service and the more you're answering your target audience's questions on questions that they have about your service. So if you're a law firm, a family law firm, like if they have different questions about child custody law, about divorce, about prenups, or anything related to your law service, if you then answer them and you also add the local angle, how is this like child custody laws in Seattle, for example, the more you have these kinds of articles that are locally relevant and topically relevant, niche relevant to your business, the better you're going to perform on the Google results. And of course, the last blue thing here, these two tie together. So keyword optimization and on-page SEO. So this just means, do you know the most important keywords that your target audience are using to search for your business or your services? And then how well a page is optimized to rank for that keyword. So these two, I would say, tie together. And then the last ones are in black, that I would say are also rather significant or also important, are the user experience. So if someone were to see your business listed on top results on Google, and if they were to then click on your site, but if the site loads so long and if they don't get a good user experience, they will bounce back, they will hit the back button and then go to another site. And if Google sees that they came to your site but they only stayed for 15 seconds, then they bounced and then went to another site and they stayed for 2 minutes, then that business, like if Google gets enough of these kinds of signals, it's going to push your rankings lower. So that's why user experience is really important. Technical SEO is also important, but usually in most cases, like I would say that 5 to 10% of the websites that we're working on have significant technical SEO issues. 90 to 95% of the websites don't really have any issues. We always do the check. We always do like when we're starting to work with a law firm, with a family law client, we always do the technical SEO check. But usually this is just a minor checkup to see that everything's okay, like a typical annual doctor's appointment, just to see that everything's okay. Sometimes we do see mistakes. We then fix them, but usually there's nothing substantial. Then also keyword in subdomain. And what they mean here is not keyword in the subdomain, it's keyword in the URL. So this is rather important. And this usually doesn't really help you to rank your homepage, which is usually the main page for your most important service. So if you are a niche law firm, like a family law firm, this doesn't really help. But like if you do have separate pages for like, I don't know, if you want to have like a separate dedicated page for high net worth divorce lawyer where you talk about high net worth cases, I would recommend to have a dedicated page for that, to grab those people that are searching for those keywords, the high net worth individuals. Then you would have a yourbsitename.com/high net worth divorce lawyer. for example. And then you having that high net worth in the URL will give you a ranking advantage. So that's why I colored this one black as well. And then also the business details. So how well is your, this would actually deserve to be blue, but because this is so easy, this is like a given, this is like the ABC, how well your Google business profile is filled out, like how many details you've added. So ideally you want to get a 100 out of 100 in that front. So these are the main factors. And also if you have seen my other videos, I have done a few family law firm ranking teardowns. This is just figuring out like why are some law firms ranking number 1 in their respective cities. So I've included Dallas, Orlando, Miami, New York, and 8-9 cities here. I have analyzed 9 of their most important ranking factors. And as you can see here, the ones that are red or dark red, like if you see a lot of dark red, these are the commonalities among most top rankers. So the main commonalities here are the review count. So most top ranked businesses have a really high review count score. So this means that they have hundreds of or thousands of reviews. Then the average review score is also like a 5 out of 5, meaning that their score doesn't need to be necessarily a 5.0, but this means that their score is at least a 4.6 or above. Then the Google Business Profile Optimization, with just one exception here, with Kansas City, almost all of them have a really good Google Business Profile Optimization score. And also almost all of them have really high amount of citations. So this was quotations or links from other websites, mentions of their business across a lot of different websites. And the final commonality that we have seen that's really strong is topical authority one. This is what I mentioned about you having content on talking about your niche, going deep about your niche, answering your target audience's questions. So these are the main commonalities. This also ties back to what we said here before, like these are the same things. Now I'm going to also bring a few examples of some of the most important factors at play in different cities. So as you see here, New York divorce lawyer, these guys here, like this is an example of having the main keyword in the business name. So this will give you an unfair ranking advantage if you have your main keyword in your Google business profile name. And even if like you see here, the top ranker, David Centennial, has NY divorce lawyer. So the main keyword in their Google business profile name. So if you are able to use this, or if you are able to do this, you will have a huge ranking advantage. And you can see here, the second ranker, Yaniv, doesn't have anything in their business name related to the keywords, but the third ranked business here does have divorce attorney, which is also a strong signal. But because Yaniv probably has so many more reviews and is doing better on other factors, they are still able to outrank Krasnev here. But yeah, this is a super important factor. And there are hundreds of family law firms in New York City. So the fact that 2 out of the 3 have divorce attorney or divorce lawyer in their business name is already a huge hint to you about what you need to do. And also, you don't need to entirely change your business name. You can just submit a DBA or a doing business as to your local municipality. And once you do that, also add that name to your website, to your homepage. Make sure you use the same wording in the name and you're good. Then just also make sure to update your Google business profile. And this is a huge thing that you can do if local rankings are important to you, as they should be. The next example is from topical authority. This is what I mentioned, you answering as many keywords as possible around your topic. So this is an example from Dallas, 1-800-LION Law there. They have over 1,000 blog articles and the total traffic they're getting is over 107,000 visitors per month. And the total traffic value, as you can see here, like this traffic value per page, their total traffic value is over $1 million. So it would take them over $1 million to get this traffic through paid ads, but they are getting it organically. So they don't have to pay for it. Of course, they had to produce the content, but because they have so much content on topics surrounding their main business niche, which is personal injury law in the Dallas, in the Texas area. And because they have so many articles, this is helping them rank number 1 for most personal injury law keywords, like the bottom of the funnel keywords. And they also get a lot of clients or searchers coming to their site through them having that much content on their topic. So this is giving them a huge advantage over others. So this is a really good example of topical authority. And of course, I'm not saying you have to do over 1,000 blog articles. What I'm saying is that if one of your competitors has that many blog articles, then it's good for you to know what you're up against. So usually it isn't enough for you to create 50 blog articles to compete with these guys. And of course, you don't have to outdo your competitors on every factor. This is just something to consider. Like if they are doing so well on this factor, then you need to do so much better on other factors. Another example from review count and score. So in some cities, in some of the most competitive cities in the United States, like Austin personal injury attorney, for example, like the top rankers here, the top ranker has 2,400 reviews and their average score is a 4.9. Second ranker here has 1400 reviews with an average score of 4.8. So yeah, again, this is what's possible in some niches, although in most cities you don't need thousands. A few hundred will suffice. And also in some cities you can even do with 40, 50 reviews as long as the score is good. It just depends on your competition. Another example here is about citations. So how do I check for citations? I just look for the business name. I Google for the business name in quotations and I remove their own domain. So this is just me looking at how many citations does Lawrence and Lawrence have. They're also a personal injury law firm in Texas. And you see here they have 11,600 citations. So this is a lot of citations. Usually, again, you don't need as many, but I like to look at the personal injury law niche because this is the most competitive law niches out there. So I think it's the best to learn from these firms that are in the most competitive niches, because if we see what's working there, then we don't have to do as much, but we can see what are the best practices to rank number one in the most competitive niches, in the most competitive cities. And yeah, then even if we just do 30%, we usually are good to rank number one. And also the final part here of this video is that, like, if you want us to do a free audit of your website, and in those audits, what we do is we create like a 10 to 15 minute video audit. And here's an example, like this one took Kaiti, our head of strategy, 17 minutes to do. But the idea is that, like, if you're interested, you can just click on the first link in the description, fill out like your website, your name, and then we will analyze your site. We will analyze your city. We will look at who's ranking number one, where are you, and what's the gap. Then in the video, we will just tell you, like, what's the gap, what you need to do to outrank your current top competitor, how long it's probably going to take, how much it's going to cost, and then it's up to you, like, if you need our help to implement it, or if you want to do it by yourself. And also the title here is like, see how your family law firm can attract 10 to 20 more high value cases a month. Like, this depends on your city. Like, if you're in a more competitive city, you will not be only attracting 10 to 20 high value cases, you would probably be attracting hundreds if you were to rank number one on Google. But yeah, that's the idea of the video. How to get you to, what are the action steps to help you get to number one in your particular city. So that's it from me. If you have any questions, just leave a comment down below. I hope this video was valuable for you. Thank you. Have a very good day. Bye-bye.